Hello, it's Natasha. Welcome back to my channel. This video is part of the Simon Says STEM United We Craft party, and I will leave the link to my blog post in the description to this video below, so you can go there and you can read all the details, and there will be a link to the Simon Says STEM blog where the party is actually based, and there are more than 100 people taking part in this party, so a lot of inspiration from all over the world. And I really love this idea behind this party. So Simon Says STEM has brought together more than 100 people to share their projects using old stamps, dies, stencils, and other crafty goodies that they have. So now, in this crazy time, we need to be together, and indeed, united we craft. So please check this link out and get inspired and just get connected to other crafters and use what you have in stash, because obviously now not all online shops are able to ship, and not all of us can actually afford to buy new stuff now. So I think now it's more than ever we need to be encouraged, and we need to be inspired to use what we have in our stash and on hand. So today I'm going to play with this huge stencil from Simon Says STEM, but it's called Bursting Hearts. And actually there are a lot of great videos here on YouTube using this stencil. As it is big, you can use it for your layouts if you're a scrapbooker, for example, or you can take a whole piece of a whole sheet of cardstock, ink blend, do some ink blending, and then cut this piece into 4 panels, and here you have 4 cards. So but I'm going to do a little bit different today with this stencil, not ink blending. So I'm going to use some watercolor cardstock. I'm going to use my brush, and I'm going to use my liquid Pink Fresh Studio watercolors. Well, you obviously can use any other watercolors that you have, not necessarily liquid. I'm pretty sure that any watercolors will work for this technique, or re-inkers. Okay, and let's make some quick and easy cards. And I think the technique that I'm going to share with you today will work great for crafting together with the kids, because it's easy. Okay, let's jump right in. Okay, so I'm ready to make to start making my panel. I have used Pixie spray and sprayed it on the back of my stencil. I really like this spray, so it gives light tech to the stencil, so they don't really tear your paper. You need when you spray it, you need a few moments to dry, so that it doesn't tear your paper, and it holds your stencil very well to the paper. And so I really love this thing. Okay, I made a panel, but my camera stopped filming. So here I am with another piece of watercolor cardstock, and as you see, my watercolors have already been used. So anyways, so I have chosen a piece, a part of a stencil. I have my brush. For this technique, it's important that your brush is not too wet, because you don't want water to seep under the stencil. And even if you use Pixie spray and your stencil is quite tightly pressed to the paper, still some seepage, I'm not sure if it's even a word, but might occur. So if you don't want that, even if you use watercolor cardstock, don't use too much water. Your brush should be slightly damp, so not wet at all. Also have your paper towel at hand in case you do get too much water on your panel, and you can easily dab it off and remove it. Okay, so we'll start with some pink. color. And again, I'm using quite a big brush, and again a flat brush, but you don't have to use a flat brush. You can use a round brush or a smaller brush. So basically any brush you have would work here. And you just apply color. So what I love about this, it takes no time at all. And again, if you use the entire piece of A4 cardstock, you can make 4 cards in one go, which is always a good thing. And your kids can do that. Your significant other can do that, even they're not much into card making and don't know much about card making. Okay, so some yellow. Okay, I think I need a bit more yellow. What I love about Pinkbrush Studio watercolors is that they're very pigmented and really bright and happy colors. And I think we need bright and happy colors now. Okay. And green. Okay. Let's go for some green. Okay. And before you remove the stencil, it might be a good idea to give it some time to dry. Okay, let's... Okay, so we'll give it some time to dry and I'll get back to you. Okay, it's not completely dry, but it's much drier than it used to be. So now I'm going to add some splatters. I'm going to add splatters without removing the stencil because I want the splatters to be on my hearts. But you can, of course, use splatters after removing the stencil. Then the panel would be more colorful. But I plan to add golden splatters to the panel, so I'm using colored stencil splatters, sorry, only to the hearts. Okay, and I'm using the color of splatters for the color of the hearts, so yellow splatters for yellow hearts, and so on. You could use black splatters if you wanted a bolder look. Okay. All right, so now I'll let this completely dry and we'll assemble the cards. Okay, so here are the panels that I made. So this was the first panel that I didn't film. And as you see, I don't know, I hope you can see this. I added splatters again in the coordinating colors to the entire panel, not just to the hearts. And this is the panel that I made together with you. And I added golden splatters. Again, I'm not sure you can see it. But they have a lovely shine and they look great. So, and here is another panel that I made as a practice piece before I started filming the video. It's not even watercolor cardstock. It's quite thin, regular paper. But as you don't use a lot of water on this, in this technique, you can use regular paper. Just be careful to not to have too wet a brush of a brush. And as you see, I added some doodling. I just doodled the hearts very, you know, clumsily with my black gel pen. You can also use gold pen. These two hearts were doodled with a golden pen. So they don't have to be perfect. I really love the wonky look they have, and I added black splatter to this just to tie together the black doodling and the panel. And so now I'm going to make cards with this panel. So I'll trim them to the right size, and I will assemble the cards and I will get back to you. Okay, so here are the cards that I made. So this one with the multicolored splatter, I just die cut a rectangle from the middle, foam mounted it, and stamped a bold sentiment. The sentiment is from Pink Fresh Studio set, and so this is the set you've got there. So I will leave the link to all the supplies in the description below, so don't worry. So any bold sentiment in black or heat embossed in gold maybe would look lovely. So this card, this with the golden splatter, I just die cut this You're the Best die from Simon Says Stamp, foam mounted it, and actually the most difficult part about this card was adhering all the small bits and pieces of foam squares to this die. So, but I did it. I'm very proud of myself. And this is the cut panel with the doodle cards that I added. I went for bold black sentiment, and I really like how it turned out. And I adhered all my panels onto colored cardstock. For one, I'm saving my white cardstock for the bases, and I'm using my colored cardstock, which I have a lot, and I think it's a great way to jazz up your card. Okay, I hope you like this idea, and I hope you will give it a try. I will remind you that this is part of a United We Craft party initiated by Simon Says Stamp, so you can check all the details on my blog. The link to the blog post will be in the description below. By the way, can you hear the rain? It's actually raining today, which is yeah, well, it makes it easier to stay at home, right? And craft. So okay, thank you very much for your time. Please be safe, stay healthy, stay positive. Check United We Craft's party, get inspired, get out your stash and craft with your family, with your kids, with your not friends, probably we don't get to see our friends, with your significant others, your partners, your husbands and wives. Okay, thanks again. Wash your hands, stay safe, and see you again soon. Bye.